Hello guys, welcome to Smiles and Cries. Today we're talking about the Evil Dead Rise. So in the fifth Evil Dead film, you have the road-weary Beth who pays an overdue visit to her older sister who is raising 3 kids on her own in a cramped LA apartment. So there's no log cabin this time around. However, the sisters' reunion is cut short by the discovery of a mysterious book deep in the bowels of the building. Guys, just leave the goddamn book alone, for f***'s sake. Anyway, so this book is interfered with by the characters and then gives rise to flesh-possessing demons and thus thrusting Beth into a primal battle for survival as she is faced with the most nightmarish version of motherhood imaginable. Basically, some Evil Dead dudes who then fandango their way into the film and make sure that EDR, Evil Dead Rise, starts as it begins to go down a downright depraved, sadistic and vicious route. So as I've already said, all the horror and the evil has now moved out from the woods and deep into the city. So the rise of these flesh-possessing demons are now chilling out in LA as opposed to some cabin in the woods. As I say, this then moves the horror, the demons and the evil out of the woods and into the city, and the rise of flesh-possessing demons thrusting them into the battle of survival as they face the most nightmarish version of family. Mind you, I do know a few family members who would quite easily slip into one of the possessed demon roles whilst saving on the makeup artist's handiwork and without needing a script to read off. I'm just saying. Anyway, Evil Dead Rise is certainly a throwback to the good old school style of horror film that delivers what horror fans have been calling out for, which is a good old-fashioned gory bloodfest with a creative story. Now it starts with a decent opening scene that had me gripped, and then it did not let up. Now, although Evil Dead Rise may lack some of the dark comedy of its predecessors, the moments of terror reserved for any goofy bugger who ventures out to a desolate cabin at night and stays there moments before tankards of blood drip across your screens in the bucket load. This one has the intensity of its horror, the thoroughly tense and genuine hair-raising moments more than make up for the lack of detail. On that point though, this movie does falter and let itself down when it doubles down on the gore at the expense of character development, and on occasions pursuing temporary thrills as opposed to genuine long-lasting suspense is where there is room for improvement. Now the spine-contorting to impossible shape moment is genuinely crazy and scary, and it's a bit like me when I've got to get out of bed on a Saturday morning after a night out in the Dog and Duck and having a cheeky kebab on the way home. Then you've got the scene with a projectile vomiting of 20 gallons of blood. It's just flaming bonkers and sure to make you queasy at the best of times. And it's things like this, these moments, why Evil Dead Rise packs everything I love about Evil Dead movies into one crazy scene. You know, the murderous evil spirits, you get pissed when you read stories about them. The grotesque kills blended together with some dark humour. Yeah, this is what EDR is all about, and then some more. Evil Dead Rise makes an already solid horror franchise even stronger and introduces demonic craziness and fresh demented nightmares to the psyche. And as we have all come to expect when the blood flows, then the fun in Evil Dead world has only just begun. EDR, Evil Dead Rise, retains just enough of the core elements from the original. And I will say that as way of a flaw, the film just didn't give me that magic feeling, that je ne sais quoi, the oh yeah moment that the rest of the franchise has previously delivered. I don't know why. Maybe I needed the cabins back, who knows. But yes, something was just not the same with this 5th installment. But in saying that, it was still interesting to see the franchise's magic so perfectly encapsulated, even as it was here. So in summary, EDR is big, it's bold, it's loud, it's gory and bombastic. It is an overall return to uncensored, unpretentious, unrestrained, blood-soaked, spine-contorting madness and gore-soaked terror for the mainstream horror fan, and thus reuniting the much-loved franchise back to be with the demonic maggots and spine-tingling evil in the best possible way. Finally, EDR features a few massive gore moments that are memorable. The film is worth watching. I like the cinematography, the setting, the blood, the guts and the gore. It's all good. The 2 female leads did act very well, but like I said, I just didn't connect with them. The pacing was a bit slow in some places, and it took too long in some scenes when they could have just cut to the chase a bit. I've also heard some fans say they have no idea what they just watched and how they've wasted an hour and a half of their life on this movie. a little bit harsh, and it is an okay one-time watch, and then you just need to move on with your life as you are staying loyal to the EDR series and franchise. And like I say, it has some good moments, but overall about average filmmaking. As putting it into perspective, this film brings the blood and the scares, and at the end of the day, that's what people are there for, and the fans of the Evil Dead movies will love everything about this one. So there you have it. That was my review of The Evil Dead Rise. Now go and watch it.